Welcome, beloved, to your reading in this collective space. Hope you are doing well. We're going to take a look at what you might need to know at this time, keeping in mind that this is a general read, so not everything is going to fit for you, and maybe just part of it will. So I drew the Seven of Pentacles to meditate on a message Spirit, higher self wants you to consider at this time. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. And I really felt drawn to the concept of the gray sky in the background, and that he's very intent on seeing what has flourished, what has grown, developed for him to harvest, right? But a watch pot doesn't boil. So that is the direction that we're going in for our reading today. We'll see what else Spirit has to show us. All right, Spirit. What does the viewer need to know about a watch pot does not boil? Watch pot does not boil. All right, and our first card out is the Three of Swords. So I believe that some past things that you have tried, you've given it your all. And I feel like this has been your mind, your body, your spirit. You really put all into something, and you followed what you felt was your heart's direction, your intuition, your logic. It just, the direction seemed like a good fit. But there was some heartache. There was some heartbreak. There was some things that seemed to have gone wrong. So I feel like wherever you're looking to put your attention, you're almost afraid to pull a sword out, or a thought pattern, something that supports what it is that you want to do. You're really possibly afraid of pulling out that sword, of healing the root, almost like you're afraid you're gonna bleed out, right? Like you put yourself on the line once already, and there's a fear of doing so again, of putting your eggs in one basket, or putting all of your hope into something. And here again, we have the continuation of the stormy sky, right? So I feel like you're already setting yourself up for failure at this point, moving forward, because you're not willing to go any deeper at looking at what it is that maybe not went wrong, but maybe some red flags you missed, or some direction, advice that you probably should have taken. And it almost feels like anything that you do, think, or apply is making the pain that much worse. All right. Okay, but what else does the viewer need to know about a watch pot doesn't boil? So everything that you do from here on out, you're being ultra cautious, but too much so, beloved. Too much so. A watch pot doesn't boil. It just, and that hypervigilance is just going to keep the pain there. And this is what we manifest, right? The things that we put the time, effort, energy, what emotional responses that we experience, feel, in place onto our experiences, that we project onto our experiences, our hopes and our dreams, our hopes can be dashed, because we are really focusing too much on a certain expectation or a certain outcome, when we're not given a guarantee on how things are going to go or how things are going to turn out. And you're not meant to, beloved, live in a spirit of fear, right? And we all have it. We all operate out of that at a point in our lives. We're not perfect. We're never going to be while we're here on earth. But living in this fear and this almost regret. Okay, so we have two cards. Wow. All right, we have the Chariot card And we have the Ten of Cups. Okay. All right. So this is the possibility of moving forward. The yellow representing hope. And my intuitive hit on this is the hope of what could happen if you pulled the swords out. You have the capability of moving forward when it doesn't look like there's any chance to move forward. You have your side that steps into the light, the side that you're really comfortable with, the side that you really like showing. And then you have the sides of you, we all have them, our shadow side, that I almost feel is really some of what you need to be looking at with this, and not giving. Learning to work with your shadow is giving yourself power, right? It's empowering you. But not working on that, not allowing that shadow to surface and to work with that is what's really hurting you. Because this is what's on the other end of giving this a little more patience, giving it the space to cultivate. Giving it the space to cultivate. Ideas, options, whatever you've put your time, effort, and energy into, what you want to manifest, and the possibility of what it could look like manifested, putting all of your feelings and emotions into it, the possibility. All right. All right. What else does our beloved need to know about their watch part doesn't boil, their manifestation? What else does the viewer need to know? Right. And we have the King of Cups. Right? Being in full possession of the facts and understanding that your feelings, your intuition are going to lead you in the right direction. And you can sit there in a space of calm and relaxation while these things almost work for you. It's living each day with purpose and intent and really following and cultivating those feelings of the love of what you do. All right, what else do we need to know? All right, and we have the Nine of Swords. Okay. So it almost feels like with your manifestation process that you are really kind of hoping for this, but this is where you're living at. There's fear of things going wrong. There's fears of being hurt. There's fears of being misled, misunderstood. But those fears of the manifestations not happening or being afraid of how it's going to unfold is exactly what's keeping you from really experiencing and living in that abundance. And I really feel like each of these swords can be representative of how you're living your daily life, because you're living it in fear, from a place of sleep, from a place of rest, from a place of even living. One sword could be your entertainment. One sword could be your health. One sword could be your friendships. One sword could be your relationships with family. And how you live your life is like the living, walking manifestation billboard. What you choose to watch on TV, for example, is that really feeding your soul? Are you watching things that are violent, harming others? How are you treating your body? Are you being too hard on it? Are you maybe working out too hard? Are you not working out enough? The things that you put in front of your eyes, the things that you do with your body speaks to the universe in this almost constant language of manifestation. Now, how you live your daily life does affect who you are and who you're trying to be. If you're trying to embody all of the attributes and characters that you wish to say, grow a business or land that dream job, are you really putting routines and practices in place? Are you living to the full fulfillment of that embodiment? Or do you find yourself coming up short? Are you waiting to see what happens? Not realizing and understanding that each of the little daily things you do in your life, they add up. It's almost like the universe is saying, show me you want to be a different person. Show me that you're going to put the energy into this. That's what's coming through. What else does the viewer? Okay, that came flying out. Okay, and we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, this is where you want to be, sitting on your throne in abundance, in growth, in prosperity, in balance with the world, a mix between relaxing, enjoyment, and bringing in the abundance. You have already arrived at embodying everything you need to. All right, and we have the Seven of Swords. All right. Nobody can steal what's yours. And you don't have to be guarded or cautious about what steps you take next. It's just taking the steps. That's so important. Okay. So you have the two kings here. I would really look at bringing in and balancing out some feminine energy to soften, because it feels like you might be very hard on yourself in this period of time when you need to bring a little bit of compassion to the table. Okay, what else? What advice does Spirit have for us at this time? All right, we have two cards. We have the Four of Pentacles, our foundation, our stability, and our security. You got to step out of your comfort zone. And then we have the Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Wands. You've been down this road many times before. So it's time to flip the script. It's time to really look at what little things can you do in your daily life to help embody the characteristics that you want for this King of Pentacles, for the kind of life that you want. Do you want to be a business owner? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to maybe you want to go into teaching? For some, that's important for somebody. The life that you want is on the other side of the excuses. And that might sound a little harsh, but we all make them. And we all have periods of time where we listen to it and we give into it and we worry about it. But it's time to really take this to the next level. Pull out the swords and allow the Chariot to pull you forward. Good, bad, or ugly, just take the steps and embody everything that you want to embody, everything that your future self, that your successful self, that your abundant self already is. All right, that was it for your reading. I hope that you have a fabulous day and stay grounded.